Tonight at 6, Northland school staff are concerned about a recent social media challenge. Their message to students and parents. Plus, an over 40-mile pursuit leads to a 7-hour standoff. We have the latest details from police on Friday's crime spree throughout the Twin Ports. And President Biden visits Michigan, continuing to tout his large infrastructure plan before the voting deadline this month.
From CBS 3 Duluth, this is the CBS 3 News at 6.
Good evening and happy Tuesday. I'm Jenna Wells. Kristen is off tonight. Thank you for joining us. New challenges are always trending on the social media platform TikTok, but not all of them are good ones. In fact, some circulating online encourage destruction and assault. CBS 3's Kendall Jarbo explains the strong warning Northland high schools are sending to students who consider participating.
September's nationwide TikTok challenge involves students recording themselves or their peers vandalizing school bathrooms. Hinckley-Finlayson High School had at least 5 separate vandalism events. Now it's October and there's a new TikTok challenge. Students slapping a teacher. To curb any attempts at this challenge, the Hinckley-Finlayson School District is asking for parents' help and warning students of serious repercussions. Superintendent Rob Prater says if a student hits any member of the school community, it will be charged as an assault and could result in expulsion. Students videotaping the event can be considered an accomplice and face legal consequences.
Anytime that we have an assault, a student's recommended for expulsion. So it doesn't always mean that it results in an expulsion, but they can be kicked out of school for a full year.
Overall, the school district is sending the strong message to keep learning environments safe for all staff and students. The district wants parents to talk with their kids about how harmful challenges have no place in schools, and to always remember, what you post online can have serious consequences.
Thank you, Kendall. Hibbing High School also had students vandalize their bathrooms several times because of the social media challenge. We're hearing how they're handling the situation coming up at 10. More than 200 parents are suing an Iron Range school district over their COVID precautions. That lawsuit was filed against Rock Ridge schools in Virginia on Monday. Parents are asking school leaders to either end the district's COVID safety plan altogether or get rid of the mask mandate, which requires students to wear masks when they're inside. If not, the parents want another learning option for students who don't want to wear a mask. We reached out to the law firm behind the lawsuit, but didn't hear back. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from Rock Ridge school leaders about their response and their COVID plans moving forward. With more and more COVID cases, Essentia Hospital is restricting more visitors. Starting today, adult patients can't have any visitors in the ER. Moms in labor are allowed a birth partner, but no extra. Patients getting surgery can have 1 adult visitor. For kids, 2 caregivers will be allowed per day. Essentia spokespeople say they hope this will help protect both patients and staff. Well, now Dave is joining us for a quick look at the weather out there. Dave, kind of foggy in some areas, as we saw, especially this morning, noticing waking up by the lake. But you showed a live look at Ely earlier, and it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, away from the lake, it's nice and sunny. Here in Duluth, by the lake, it's foggier than all get out, splitting the difference. And let's now take a live look at Ashland, where, yeah, there's some clouds in the sky, but you also see sunshine on the roadways. And so, no matter where you are, there you are, and the sky conditions do vary quite a lot and could continue to vary at least through tomorrow, maybe even Thursday as well. Cloudier and foggier by the lake, sunnier inland until Friday when we all get a chance for some rain. Now, let's look at the map for the upper Midwest, and what we have going on right now is higher pressure trying to move to the east, so it's losing its cloud-crushing grip on our area. That's why we still have clouds in one place and sunshine in the others. There's a low coming from the west that will bring us that rain chance for Friday, so we'll be in this partly sunny netherworld at least through Thursday, including tonight and tomorrow. Partly cloudy tonight with fog possible again, just like it was this morning. There is a fog advisory in place for the overnight, and I'll show you a map of that zone coming up in just a couple more minutes.
All right, thank you, Dave. Tonight, we're learning more about the path police say a Duluth man took on his day-long crime spree, one that ended with an hours-long standoff on Friday. Cody Walker Nelson made his first court appearance today. He now faces 21 charges, mostly felonies, some misdemeanors. That laundry list includes vehicle theft, burglary, firing shots, and leading police on a chase, and more. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham joins us live now. Quinn, you spent the day looking at those court documents. Can you break down that timeline of events for us?
Well, I'm here in Duluth's Spirit Valley neighborhood where Walker Nelson ended his day on Friday with a near 6-hour standoff in this apartment building behind me. Now, that standoff, we're told, he was armed with both firearms and a sword, and police used on that day what they called non-lethal tactical methods to try and draw him out. Those methods obviously worked because they apprehended Walker Nelson at around 8:30 p.m. that night. But that wasn't until after he led them on what they're calling a near 40-mile chase through the Twin Ports. Here's how that all went down. The crime spree began sometime Friday morning when Walker Nelson allegedly stole 12 firearms from a home on Karkey Road south of Superior. By 11:30, he had made his way to Duluth, where police say he stole a Chevy Tahoe near West 3rd Street and North 58th Avenue West. Over the next hour, Walker Nelson allegedly damaged property around West Duluth and broke into a home. Then at 12:36, officers say he ditched the Tahoe and stole a Ford Escape from the parking lot of a Holiday gas station on Grand Avenue. He was spotted driving that stolen vehicle the wrong way over the Bong Bridge towards Superior about an hour later. There, he allegedly tried to rob a bank at gunpoint on Belknap Street. By 1:48 p.m., police say he'd driven back to Duluth's Denfeld neighborhood and robbed 2 people at gunpoint before firing shots into the air and driving off again. About 25 minutes later, he made it to the Milk House on Piedmont Avenue, where an off-duty officer caught him reaching into his vehicle. From there, he led police on a chase around Hermantown into Duluth's Kenwood neighborhood and down Mesaba, at one point traveling more than 100 miles an hour. After what turned out to be an 8-mile police chase, Walker Nelson got out of the vehicle here at an apartment building in the Spirit Valley neighborhood at 2:37 p.m. And police say he barricaded himself inside an apartment. He was arrested after a 6-hour standoff. Now, we're told Walker Nelson also fired multiple shots at a surveillance drone that was being used to keep tabs on him on Friday. He also fired a shot through the wall, according to police. Nobody was injured in the standoff, and Walker Nelson is scheduled to appear in court next week.
All right, Quinn, you did a check of Walker Nelson's criminal history, and this is certainly far from his first conviction, it sounds like.
Well, Jenna, he also has multiple felony arson, burglary, and multiple assault charges dating back to 2009. So you're absolutely right on that.
All right. Well, thank you, Quinn Gorham, live for us. Police have not indicated any sort of motive for the alleged crimes or said whether Walker Nelson was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Meanwhile, a trial date has been set for the man accused of murdering his fiance's 3-year-old son. 30-year-old Jordan Carter pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder charge last month. He's accused of beating 3-year-old Cameron Gordon so badly that the boy suffered a deadly traumatic brain injury. It happened in September 2020 at the couple's Duluth home. Carter told police Gordon had fallen down the stairs on September 3rd. Then on September 4th, he claimed he found the boy unresponsive. Gordon was rushed to a Minneapolis hospital where he died. Doctors found numerous injuries and bruising, which they said was consistent with child abuse. Carter's trial is scheduled to start February 28th next year. He's currently out on bail. Moving to politics, where we're taking a live look at Capitol Hill as gridlock continues on the president's Build Back Better agenda. Today, President Biden took his infrastructure push on the road to a Howell, Michigan union training facility in hopes of selling his large infrastructure plans to the American people. During his speech, he called on both sides of the aisle to come together to create a better future for America.
These bills are not about left versus right or moderate versus progressive. They're about opportunity versus decay.
CBS News has confirmed the president's current infrastructure bill plan is around $2 trillion, which is down from the original $3.5 trillion price tag. Democratic leaders have set a deadline for the end of October to try to get both bipartisan infrastructure bill and the social spending measure passed. Minnesota state lawmakers spent the afternoon touring projects that hope to get funding in the state's next budget. The tour started in Cloquet, where lawmakers heard pitches about expanding the Cloquet area fire district to better serve the community. They also heard why local leaders are proposing renovations to the Lake Superior water pipeline. Representative Few Lee, chair of the House Capital Investment Committee, says these tours are a critical part of the budgeting process.
So this tour is very important because right now we are starting our process of looking at different critical infrastructure projects that have been submitted to the state of Minnesota for funding.
Lawmakers also made stops at Spirit Mountain, Lake Superior Zoo, and UMD. The Northland Heart Walk campaign has reached their goal of raising $90,000. A large part of that money came from shoppers at Super One Foods across the Northland. Shoppers donated to the American Heart Association by purchasing paper hearts at checkout. Today, Super One presented AHA with a check worth more than $46,000. Brianna Johnson with the Heart Association says this donation will make a huge difference for the cause.
I'm just so proud to work alongside of them, and this kind of support will make a substantial impact in our community, and it's nice to have that kind of local support.
Johnson said Super One's campaigns for the past 2 years have been some of the most successful in its history. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, fall is in the air and many are already dreaming of their favorite Thanksgiving meals. How Chum plans to participate in the season of giving. Next.
We are 5 days into October, and we've received about a quarter-inch of rain, we could say, but we're still a quarter-inch short. There is a rain chance coming our way for Friday, where we could play a good game of catch-up. In between, we'll be in another world of a little bit of fog for some towns like you see here, and a bit of sun for others. Well, we'll talk about who's who coming up right after our break.
I had gone 20 years essentially without smiling. My dental phobia was strong, and the idea of coming in and being able to sleep through the whole thing, that's heaven. That right there is heaven. In terms of an experience, I promise you, it will be the easiest dental experience you've ever had.
Never be afraid at the dental office again. Call us today for a free sedation consultation.
If you're frustrated with buffering, if you're sick of stop and start streaming, if you have spotty Wi-Fi, you need to talk to the Extreme Internet Pros. Switch to Extreme Internet 100 for only $34.99 a month for a year. You don't even need to sign a contract. Get fast speeds up to 100 meg, intelligent whole home Wi-Fi, and 99.9% network reliability. You want great internet at a great price? Call us today at 844-EXTREME2.
Hi, my name is Dr. Andrew Davis. I'm one of the otolaryngologists and head and neck surgeons here at St. Luke's. Otolaryngology and head and neck surgery encompasses the field of ears, nose, and throat. The head and neck region is responsible for harboring all of our senses, and a lot of the daily functions that we take for granted really makes us kind of who we are and what we are. Having the ability to make such drastic and impactful changes in patients' lives is humbling, but also profound.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on Live Local CBS 3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
Calling all Bulldogs. Do you consider yourself a diehard UMD Bulldog fan? Send a picture of you or you and your crew all decked out in your Bulldog attire for a chance to be the My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week. Follow the My9 Sports Facebook page and post your pictures there to be entered into our weekly random drawings. Each Fan of the Week will be showcased in our My9 Sports UMD Athletics Broadcast of the Week. The My9 Sports Bulldog Fan of the Week is brought to you by the Duluth Tap Exchange.
Every case, every defendant that was put away with evidence from our lab has been called into question. Our life's work is on the line.
We're really talking about my lab's reputation.
What do we do now? What we always do, follow the evidence.
CBS 3 Sports is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Fog on the way again tonight for many towns here in our region. A lot of moisture in the air. Temperature and dew point overnight near the lake will come together, and that gives us another night with a dense fog advisory for lakeside communities. So tomorrow morning's commute, please drive cautiously. This advisory could stay in effect until 10 o'clock in the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, just like today, we could be a bit cloudy by the lake with nice sunshine farther inland, splitting the difference here. Until Friday, when we all get some clouds and a chance for some rain. Here's what's happening right now at the airport in Duluth. 54 degrees is the temp. 100% now for the relative humidity, so that fog is coming back. Easterly, southeasterly winds going 8 miles per hour, and our air pressure high enough at the surface, indeed, at 30.28 inches of mercury, but not high enough aloft to put down the clouds, at least not for everybody. Current temps, wide range. 59 Ironwood becomes 70 down the road in Waters Meet. 60 for LaPointe becomes 70 down in Hayward. And in Minnesota, it's as cool as 54 degrees just a few miles up the Gunflint Trail, and as warm as 73 in International Falls. And a similar range of temperatures with us again tomorrow, maybe even Thursday as well. The cloud cover on Friday, though, could be the big equalizer that makes things just a little bit more uniform. Well, let's get into the Doppler map right now, and we go over towards the East Coast, where the biggest low-pressure system in the nation is this one here that brought us our rain for the weekend. And it's not really overly enthusiastic from Maine down towards Georgia and Alabama, but it's the most exciting thing in the country right now, and that's a good thing, too. Folks in the East Coast, of course, and down in the Deep South don't need any more huge storms. Here in our area, huge storms are being kept at bay by higher pressure that's keeping us mild, if not perfectly sunny. So partial sunshine tomorrow and Thursday thanks to this departing high, and when it departs, a pair of lows come in from the west. That makes the weekend a little cloudier and perhaps a little bit rainier as well. And then once we get into Monday, of course, it's going to clear up and become pretty nice. Tonight in Minnesota, the low temps, they will run 48 inland to 54 by the lake with a partly cloudy sky up above, but if it's foggy at the surface, you won't be able to tell. In Wisconsin, should be mostly cloudy there with low temps from about 48 to 50 from the UP in towards Superior. Now, what do we get for tomorrow for Wisconsin and the UP? After a potentially foggy start in the morning, it becomes partly cloudy in the afternoon. High temps run 68 to 70. The normal's about 58, 59, so warmer than normal tomorrow for everybody. Even Minnesotans by the lake, where it'll be low in the mid-60s. But 68 to 74, possible inland. Partial sunshine there, and partial sunshine again on Thursday, followed by a cloudier day Friday with 30 to 40% chances for showers and thunderstorms sticking around through Sunday. And there comes a mostly sunny sky, wouldn't you know it, when folks go back to work on Monday.
All right, thank you, Dave. Just last week, Chum put out the call for donations in order to feed 300 families. Today, with just one donation, the food shelf's wishes are granted. Today, one anonymous donor stepped forward with a check for $18,000 to fund Thanksgiving meal boxes. Chum organizes the campaign each year to make sure families in need don't go hungry during the holiday. The pandemic has made finding food and funding difficult for the food shelf. Scott Van Dale with Chum says the money won't go to waste.
Without this money, this wouldn't have been able to happen. We would have scrounged and done what we had to do, but we probably would have never had 300 boxes completely filled. And this way, we just don't have to think about it.
The money will go toward buying over 300 turkeys and all the fixings for those struggling. And Kelly Hinseth is here with a look at what's next in sports.
Yeah, it was definition team win for the UMD football team this weekend. Next, we'll recap their win on Saturday and look ahead to this weekend. That's coming up.
Join us weeknights for Live at 5 as we go around the Northland city by city.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS 3 for up-to-date coverage morning and night. CBS 3 live cams brought to you by KohlerChev.com. Now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChev.com, a better way to buy.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Preparing for a change? Whether you're downsizing to simplify or find yourself with an empty nest, visit yournorthlandhome.com. View comprehensive information that will help you find your new home with JS Realty, with guides such as questions to ask yourself before downsizing. Yournorthlandhome.com has all the information you need to find a place that feels like home. Download your free guide today at yournorthlandhome.com.
Every case, every defendant that was put away with evidence from our lab has been called into question. Our life's work is on the line.
We're really talking about my lab's reputation.
What do we do now? What we always do, follow the evidence.
School visits are an important part of kind of being part of the community outside of the TV station here. When I was in 6th grade, that's when I learned meteorology was it for me. Being on the other side of that now, for me being able to kind of pursue that, it's important for me to then be able to get back into the community. If I can go into a classroom and get just one person who was interested, or just one person who, you know, leaves there knowing like, wow, I learned something new today. For me, I did my job, and that means a lot to me.
Watch meteorologist Caitlin Moffitt weekdays at 5 a.m.
We've got new information now explaining why.
Why should ordinary Americans care what's happening here in Ukraine?
Deep divisions remain.
Elizabeth, why did they kick you out?
They are expecting public unrest.
Why are they releasing these videos now?
Police are pushing us back.
We found one hell of a story of survival.
That's why you have to do your own research to get to the truth.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Bakke, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Bakke. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport. Now, CBS 3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
The Bulldogs took a business trip to Moorhead, Minnesota this past weekend and left with a last-second victory in what head coach Kurt Wiese called the definition of a team win. The Dogs are beginning to create a trend after winning a game that came down to the final play of the game for the 3rd week in a row. Behind the team's win, there were also a pair of new faces behind center. Logan Greats and Garrett Olson contributed in a combined performance for a 26-21 finish over the Dragons.
I think Logan and Garrett both those guys played well on Saturday. Logan got the starting job based on his playmaking ability in the pocket and threw the ball extremely well throughout fall camp. He's still young. He still came in as a transfer learning our offense. I thought he handled our offense in the moment extremely well on Saturday.
At the end of the day, I just wanted to win the game no matter how it happened. Gary came in and played really well as well. And, you know, I think both me and him played well enough to get a win. And to be able to have that chance at the end to come in there and stay with it was really awesome.
As for the status of quarterback John Larson, he suffered an injury with Wayne State 2 weekends ago. But Wiese says Larson will take it day by day and will practice this week. And then they will make their call ahead of their road trip to Mary this weekend.
I think, you know, with the way that our conference is set up, it's really tough to anticipate what kind of team you're going to see. So every game's going to be competitive. Everybody has beaten everybody at this point. We're going to go out and play a good Mary football team right now that's putting up a lot of points. So it's our goal, just like last week, is to go out and perform well on all 3 phases of the game and, you know, continue to play at a high level.
Bulldogs are back on the road with a 2 p.m. kickoff this weekend in North Dakota. Switching gears, more locally tonight in Superior, the Spartans are hosting Dig Pink Night at their volleyball game against Duluth East. It's their 8th year hosting the fundraiser for breast cancer education and research. Their theme this year is Believe in a Cure. Well, the Hammer football rivalry between Proctor and Hermantown is one of the oldest, most storied rivalry in all of Minnesota, dating back to 1949. Not even a pandemic could cancel it in 2020, but this season it's been called off. Proctor's entire football season has been canceled due to student misconduct allegations. As a result, Hermantown has been forced to find a new opponent, and they have. The Hawks will travel to Aitkin this Friday for a 6 o'clock kickoff on the road against the Gobblers. The best of the best in American men's soccer is coming to St. Paul next year. Minnesota United FC's home field, Allianz Field, will host the MLS All-Star Game next year. The league announced Allianz Field as the game site earlier today. The 2022 All-Star Game is scheduled for August 10th. Minnesota United head coach Adrian Heath will coach the MLS team.
It's because of the hard work. It's because of the commitment. It's the creativity of the brand. You feel this brand in the cities. You feel it when you're in the stadium. You feel it when you see the players and their relationship with the fans. It's the loyalty that everybody has to the cause that's so important.
Jenna, you are from not Minnesota.
Not Minnesota, Chicago
So I have
area.
to ask, have you been down to any of the stadiums down the Twin Cities?
I actually haven't yet. Isn't that crazy? I would love to. I like sports. Yeah, it'd be fun. Why not? I played soccer for a few years there.
There you
Yeah.
go. Okay, we'll bring you in as a, pitch side reporter.
Hey, I'll do it. Why not?
that's
I won't know what I'm talking about, but it'll be fun.
Just speaking of British accent, it'll be fine.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Kel. Tonight on the CBS 3 News at 10, Rockridge Schools in Virginia is facing a lawsuit from more than 200 parents over their COVID precautions. Tonight, we'll hear from Rockridge school leaders about their response and the COVID plans moving forward. And Dave, how's the rest of tonight looking for us?
Well, foggy for lakeside communities and maybe partly cloudy farther inland.
Right.
Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. After fog overnight tonight, we should break up towards at least partial sunshine on Wednesday and hold true to that through Thursday. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s, at least closer to the lake, maybe low 70s inland. That's all warmer than normal. Come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's our next rain chance. And the latest charts indicate light to perhaps moderate accumulation, so nothing huge and major, shouldn't cause any floods, but hopefully we'll solve the rain deficit we're already running here in the month of October. Then come Monday, we go back towards the low 60s for highs. That's still warmer than normal, and sunshine returns.
All right, thank you, Dave, and thank you for joining us here on the CBS 3 News at 6. More news and weather is coming up at 10 o'clock.